What's up, everybody? You're listening to another episode of the SignatureCAST, where we talk bodybuilding, business, and everything in between. Coming up this week, the 2023 Arnold Classic. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm super excited.
Yep, I got Jess Falborn, IFBB Pro, resident IFBB Pro on staff here at Signature Fitness, and we're going to break down our picks for the open class at this year's Arnold. I think it's going to be probably one of the best Arnolds we've seen in a long time.
I think so, and I'm also excited because it's my first one I've ever been to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's really awesome. Cool. Yeah. And going as a pro.
Finally, yeah. That's always been my goal. So I'm going to say that's why I never went before, because I was like, I have to go as a pro.
No, definitely, 100%. I mean, I'm super excited as well. This is my first year going as an athlete.
I know, guys.
Super excited.
Our resident top arm wrestler, Will, is going to be competing as a pro arm wrestler there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm going earlier than some of our other friends just so we can watch Will crush it. He's going to be, if you guys are going to be watching from home, and he's going to be, I don't know, are they going to have like a...
So there will be
a pay-per-view for...
There should be a pay-per-view, right? But if not, I know there's a separate link, so I'll post it on our social and people can watch it.
Yeah.
So
and follow along on my Instagram because I'm going to be recording the whole thing.
It's going to be awesome. But yes, thank you guys.
What time? Friday?
Friday at 10 a.m. And then when I make the finals, it's
when
Saturday at noon.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how we do it.
Yep.
So, guys, we're going to break down. Let me just give you guys the list. This is straight off of the Arnold website in no particular order whatsoever. These are the athletes we got for the 2023 Arnold Classic. So we got William Bonac, our very own Mr. Sean Clarita.
Oh, yeah.
Samson Dwada, Kamal Elgarni. So just a recap, Sean is the current 212 Mr. Olympia. Kamal is a previous 212 Mr. Olympia. We have Big Rammy in the house, obviously previous Mr. Olympia winner. Andrew Jack, the big up-and-coming statue that everybody loves. Patrick Moore, Mr. Aesthetic, coming in. Justin Rodriguez, another local here at Signature Fitness. Nick Walker, the Mutant, and Akeem Williams.
Another local here.
Another local. This is like...
We're the Mecca. New Jersey, New York is the Mecca.
We're killing it. We're killing it. No, I mean, I'm absolutely excited. I think the way we should do this is the way we did this last time. Yeah. Let's break down who we each individually think will be our top three, and then we'll, have a little controversy and little talks there. So, ladies first. Who do you have for your top three here?
I mean, I'm putting my money on our boy Sean. That's it. I think Sean, this is why I think Sean really could come in and win this. He's coming off an Olympia win, and that, let's not pretend that doesn't play into it, right?
Sure.
Judges like to see that. He's also incredibly confident, as he should be, coming off an Olympia win. We've already seen him beat guys that are that much bigger than him in an open category last year or 2 years ago at the Legions. From an aesthetics perspective, size for his frame, his level of conditioning, his posing, his stage presence. I just don't think there's anyone that can match Sean in all of those categories equally. Not to mention he is a current Mr. Olympia in 212. So I think that carries a lot of weight. Not to mention I'm just a good friend of Sean's. So I think.
See, this is where it
gets tough.
Because I'll say my one match is yours, but so I'm curious about your second and third though.
Okay, so I think Samson is the one who's going to give Sean the biggest run for his money, for the same reasons that I think Sean would win. Because although Samson is close to 300 pounds, so at least 100 pounds heavier than Sean probably on stage, I think he has phenomenal aesthetics. He has a beautiful structure, beautiful physique. And if you've seen his recent updates on Instagram, comparing I think he did 3 weeks out before the Olympia versus 1 week out.
I saw that.
Before the Arnold, his conditioning has improved dramatically, especially in his lower body. His back has improved dramatically.
Do you know why?
Do I know why?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So they just had a podcast with Dennis James, his coach Milos, and two others I can't remember. Chris Cormier and someone else. And they were like, so why is he looking so much better? And Milos just goes, well, we've added different supplements, ones he refused to use for a long time.
Bodybuilding.
And I guess he responded very well to said supplements, and now all of a sudden, I mean, he made some drastic changes.
The conditioning has improved remarkably, and I think it just goes to show that what phenomenal genetics Samson had without taking some of those supplements, I guess, whatever they were, but then B. It just goes to show it's like a compounding effect. Like every show you do, you in theory get better and better, and then you probably have other tools in your toolbox. So I think that Samson is the one that's going to give Sean the closest run for his money. Another one that I think will give them a run for their money is Nick. We can't count Nick out. I think my third place would be between Nick or Andrew Jacked, and the reason I say that is because it just depends on what they're going to be rewarding at the Arnold. And you and I talked about this. I think like Nick is probably, I mean, he won People's Champ at the Olympia. I think he has a huge following, a huge fan base, but he also is the one that's been posting the most updates leading up to the Arnold. So we know what he looks like. We know what Sean looks like, right?
Yeah.
We've seen Samson's updates, but Nick posts, I mean, he just posted a week
every
out
day.
from the front and the back. He posts nonstop. And some people might find that annoying, but I think that's what leads to him being the People's Champ.
I think it's good for him because it's also, don't forget, as much as we want to say, these judges judge the day of, they're paying attention.
They are, yeah.
And for him, he does look like he's going to come in tighter than he did at the Olympia.
Yeah.
I think he might even, as long as the carb load goes correctly, I think he might actually reduce some of the size, like just a little bit, but the quality will be much better.
I agree. Because
so
I think
he could be dangerous.
He heard the feedback and saw what they judged at the Olympia. And that's not going to change between the Olympia and the Arnold. Like these guys don't have that much time. So you're right. Like I think he's downsized just a little bit. We're not seeing him full. We're seeing him flat. So we're probably talking about that same update that he just posted with his front most muscular.
Oh yeah, he's definitely flat there for sure.
Flat. But his waist looks like it's come in a little bit tighter. And so remains to be seen when he fills up. But my point in bringing up like what they're going to reward, Nick has the freak factor and the gnarliness in his physique and his conditioning, and I don't think he's as aesthetic as someone like Sean or Samson. So, and then I mentioned Andrew Jacked. I mean, he's a freak, but he also has the crazy size too, and I'm a really big fan of his physique. So,
so one is Sean.
I think one is Sean.
Two is Samson, and three is between
Nick or Andrew.
And Andrew. Okay,
that's what I think.
So I'll give you mine. So number one, I'm still rooting for Sean.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I think Sean has all the tools in the tool chest to beat every single person on the stage. Yeah. It all comes down whether they're judging it fairly or not. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
If you truly understand bodybuilding, as I know you do, but for maybe some of our viewers they don't, size, shape, symmetry, presentation, conditioning. There's just so much, and it's simple mathematics. I mean, they're not actual numbers, but in the sense of, are they conditioned? Are they, is their shape correct? Are they balanced from top to bottom, left to right? He checks off all of those boxes, and that's why he's Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Now, if you judge that correctly, even a on point Ramy, like if it's judged correctly, Sean and him are like it's a match. You know what I mean? Like it's just because one's 150 pounds heavier than the other, it doesn't mean that they're a better bodybuilder. You do what you can with your frame, and Sean has absolutely filled out his frame. There's not an inch to put more muscle. Like he'll try. But. Yeah, like so I go to the same massage therapist he does, Big John. Shout out to Big John, and Sean. He tells me he wasn't super flexible when he first met him, but they've been working together for years. But even then, he has so much muscle where I've watched him do like an incline press, and he physically can't touch the bar. Like people don't understand how much muscle mass he has put on one frame. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So that being said, I think Sean's going to take first as long as they judge it correctly. We know he's going to come in shape, like you said. Yeah. Now, here's where I find things a little tough. For me, it's not the third place, it's the second place.
Yeah.
Because we have to remember Nick is a previous Arnold Classic winner.
I know.
He was, correct me if I'm wrong, third place at the Mr. Olympia this year?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's coming off a third place, which is huge. Mm-hmm. Samson was in sixth.
Samson came in fifth.
Fifth. Okay, so Samson came in fifth. So he's two spots ahead. Now, I look at it this way. Samson in these past however many weeks it's been has improved, but so has Nick.
Yeah.
And has he improved enough to be able to overthrow someone he just beat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that. So for me, it's Sean first, Nick second.
Okay.
And then third, this is where we're going to disagree. Well, let me say this. I don't know what's going to happen with Big Ramy.
Okay.
He's my wild. We'll get to that, but
Yeah.
he's my wild card. So I'm going to leave him out of it.
Yeah.
But he can be placed in any of the top 3 position at any time, in my opinion, if he comes in correctly.
Okay.
But so for right now, so I have Sean at first. I have Nick Walker in second because he's the winner. Previous Arnold, he's got the freak factor. He did the adjustments he had to do, and he's a people's champ, like we said.
Yeah.
Third place to me is going to be between Kamal and Samson Dwada.
Interesting.
So Kamal looks great always, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is his last hurrah.
Yeah, right.
So I think he's going to really, and I could be totally wrong here, but I think he's really going to push it and try to do one, because let's be real, he's getting up in age. You know, his placing dropped 2 placings now at the 212 Mr. Olympia. I think he's going to really, really try and push it. Now is when we get to the Ramy thing. Kamal ain't going nowhere if Ramy comes on point.
Yeah.
Samson's going nowhere. Well, Samson might because he got the size, but if Ramy comes conditioned, he could, he's Big Ramy for a reason.
Yeah.
But I personally I don't think, I know he's at the stem cells.
Well,
I just don't think it's been enough time.
Well, did you hear what his coach Chad Nichols was saying about, like, neither Ramy or Chad said that Ramy is coming to win. They said he's coming to do damage and he's coming to redeem himself. They were very careful not to say, both in his Instagram Live the other day, and Chad was on a podcast recently, and they did not use the words he was coming to win. They said he was coming to do damage, he was coming to redeem himself. And this is the reason why I don't think we're going to see a full redemption from what he looked like at the Olympia, because the stem cell treatment that he's getting for his back, his triceps, his legs, like that
all over basically.
Yeah, that takes 6 to 8 months for it to fully do what it's supposed to do. So I think they're putting all their eggs into the 2023 Olympia basket. And I personally don't know why they would decide to do the Arnold. Maybe because everyone else was doing it.
I think it was more of a, he went from first last year to 6th.
5th. Oh, no. So Ramy came in 5th. Samson came in 6th.
Okay.
You're right.
So from 1st to 5th, usually it's 1st to 2nd.
Yeah, no, it's
so
the biggest drop
this was really a big drop. So I think it's also more of it's probably a personal thing that he wants to do it, and for the fans, because he's feels like he disappointed them.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah,
I just don't think he's gonna come back to his former glory until the stem cell work is finally done.
I was looking at a comparison from 2000. I want to say it was like 2018 or 2019. And he looked ridiculous. I mean, his waist was still like this, and his arms and everything. And you can really see the decay, and not just I shouldn't say decay, the thickening of everything.
Yeah.
Don't forget. We see this in, for example, strongman all the time.
Yeah.
Strongmen don't have small waists.
No.
And when you're lifting these massive loads, like Ramy's a strong guy, and he squats and all that type of stuff, your waist will thicken just to withhold that weight.
Yeah.
Plus just the years of training, obliques are a muscle. It's going to grow.
It's going to,
So I don't think he'll ever be able to be back to that, but I think he can regain the conditioning, the size, the fullness.
Yeah.
But that silhouette will never be what it was.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen this week.
Yeah. No, I don't believe so either. But so we said Big Ramy, if he comes in, I think he could place top 3 if he comes in good conditioning. But I don't see him winning the show.
No.
I also don't see him taking second, because I think Sean and Nick just by themselves are such powerhouses.
Yeah.
And like we said, we have Samson and Andrew Jack is this larger than life human being. Yeah. But we're forgetting about somebody.
We're forgetting a few people here.
All right. Well, here, maybe I'm by Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore, yeah.
No, but he's just small.
His aesthetic.
No, I love I think he is a gorgeous physique.
Yeah.
But every time he's competed on one of these stages, he just gets dwarfed.
I agree, but we're not. This isn't a size contest.
I know, but
otherwise Sean
no.
doesn't win.
There's a difference, right? With Sean is a smaller stature with all the muscle in the world, so the illusion is there. Patrick is not a small guy.
Correct.
He looks big because of his aesthetic. He's not. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean looks like a tank.
Like Patrick could put more muscle on.
I feel like he just needs exactly. I feel like he needs like 15 to 20 pounds of more muscle, and then he could be a dominant force.
But then, do you lose the aesthetics? Do you lose the small waist?
I understand.
Lose the shoulder to waist.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So it's one of those.
I think his most recent update, although it was only from the waist up, was pretty remarkable. But we haven't yet seen his legs.
Let's also remember he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So like
he's rested.
As much as we want to say he's rested, or whatever, politics play a game in this sport.
Yes.
He's not really been active on social media. He's not the talk of the town. Sure. You know, that's why I have to keep going back to Sean. You know, Sean is doing something that no one's ever done before. Mm-hmm. Nick Walker has been doing things that no one's ever done before. Yeah. Samson Duada is making this splash that people haven't done before. Andrew Jack, all these people. And that's why I think Patrick Moore has a beautiful physique. He's going to look great. I just don't see him cracking the top 5.
Yeah, I don't think he'll crack top 5. I think if we're looking at 4th and 5th, I think I don't think he's there.
Like Sean's in the top, Samson. Let's just say Big Rammy, Andrew Jack, Nick Walker.
Yeah.
Then it's everybody else.
Yeah.
But
who were you going to say before we brought
Justin Rodriguez.
Okay.
See, because last year we were at the Arnold, Justin came out looking like he was going to win the show.
Yeah.
And then something happened. Maybe it was a carb load, water manipulation, whatever. And he came into finals the next day and it just wasn't the same. But he was center the first night, and it looked like a wrap. I mean, like we were like, oh, if he just comes in a little tighter tomorrow, he'll be ridiculous. And then he just faded away.
Yeah. This is Justin's last show for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a friend of Justin's. Like, I want him to do well so badly.
Same.
So badly. He has so much freaking muscle. Like he has a really gnarly, huge physique.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him do well. I could see him in the top 5. I could.
Oh, I definitely could. I could see him placing very high if he comes in shape.
He just has to redeem what he did at the Olympia. Like,
yeah, he looked horrible.
I mean, like, and I just saw him after prejudging when he came off stage, and he just was like not happy.
Knew,
but he said to us he was like not happy about it, but he was also like, all these other guys, like, where'd they come? Like, this is not who we've been competing against for the past few years. So I really hope that his body isn't too tired to do well at this show. But I think that's why he's called it a wrap after the show for this year, so he can rest his body.
Well, I will say this. I saw him about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Hey, Justin, how are you? You know, I'm feeling good. I said, so how are we going to do at this Arnold? And he goes, oh, every year I do really well at the Arnold. It's my favorite show. So, like, I think he seemed to be in really good spirits about it. And as you know, like, the better mental state you're in, the better your physical state will be. Yeah. So I think, and his update picks, he's not as far along as, let's say, Nick or Sean or Samson. Actually, probably close to where Samson's at in terms of conditioning. But 72 hours, like, things change drastically. Yeah. I think we're almost spoiled with people like Sean and Nick because they're so ripped so early from a show.
They are.
That we're like, oh, everyone should be like that. And in reality, you only got to peak once or twice.
Yeah. All that matters is what you look like on stage next to someone else.
Exactly. So, all right. So we have our top 3. So, right, we agree on Sean.
Yeah.
Second, you said Samson.
Yeah.
I said Nick.
Yeah.
Let's battle that out. Why? Why do you think? So I think Nick's going to win. Like I said, he's a previous winner. He's got the freak factor and everything like that. He's also massive. He's what, 265, 270 on stage?
No, I think he's a little bit less than that. But
no,
maybe he's like
close to 260. I think.
Yeah, maybe he's 260.
I know Samson's going to be taller and heavier.
Yeah.
Or it seems like you're coming from, and I understand this because it is the Arnold, right? And they always usually seem to reward a little bit more aesthetic physique.
Yeah, I think
is that why you're going with the
yeah.
Samson?
Yeah, not to mention, I just think Samson's on like a rise from the Olympia.
An upward.
And not that Nick isn't, but
they're different, though. I know what you mean.
I think they're different, but I do think, and I've been saying this for the past few weeks, it just depends what they're going to reward. If they go for more aesthetics, it's Samson. If they go for just more of that gnarly freak factor, I could see second going to Nick.
Sure.
I could see first even going to Nick. Like, I don't want to say it, but like if they're going to go the gnarly freak factor and not the way that I think bodybuilding has been,
sure,
then I could see that. But I again stand by. I think Sean's the most complete physique that's going to be up there.
Well, that's the thing is, I know we're talking about Nick and Samson, but you know that's what I love about Sean. He's got the gnarliness.
He does.
He still has the. He still
has the
is aesthetic.
Yeah.
And he's got the full. He's got everything.
And I think we can't count out the fact that like Sean's been doing this a lot longer than someone like Nick, right? He's got the experience, and Samson, yeah, he's got the experience. His stage presence is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, and I'm sure you know this, but like Sean didn't put together his routine really for Mr. Olympia until right before he stepped on stage. Like, he knows what he's going to hit.
So I don't know if you know this. You were there, and the music cuts out, and he just wings it.
He winged the whole thing,
and people still loved it.
Yeah, like, but to my point, like he's got it. He knows what to do on stage, and he knows what looks best for him. And it's not like him and his coach have to spend so much time like necessarily perfecting a pose because Sean just knows what looks good for him. Not saying these other guys don't, but like the time in the sport really plays into how well you're going to do at a show.
Yeah, when you don't even have to second guess how you're hitting a pose.
Yeah.
Think about the confidence that comes through that.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's another, dark horse.
Yeah, I know who you're going to say.
Akeem?
Yeah. This is the best he's looked in a long time.
So it's the best he's looked in a long time. I think, I had him on the SignatureCAST almost 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the first people. And even then he was like, I have a few more years in the sport and I'm looking to retire. Because you always have to think about the future.
Yeah.
You can't do it forever. Yeah. I have a really big feeling like might be one of the last preps we see of Akeem Williams.
It could be.
Because, unfortunately, he's had different coaches and things have been changing. And he hasn't really had the placings that he obviously was hoping for because his body hasn't been responding to whatever it may be, whether it's the training or the protocols or, the supplementation, whatever it may be. But I gotta say, just like you said, he's looking pretty gnarly. Really
great. Like, I think his most recent post was a side shot and his legs from the side were like, that was a great shot for him. Yeah. And before the Olympia, he didn't post any updates. So I think he kind of learned his lesson there, maybe.
Maybe it's keeping him accountable.
Maybe, yeah, whatever it is. Or maybe the feedback was just that people wanted to see more updates.
Yeah.
Because like you mentioned, like this all does play a part, like how much buzz there is about an athlete before they get on stage.
Yeah, you got to think of it from a judge's perspective. Like obviously we're talking about a subjective sport. It's not objective. So if you're a judge and you keep hearing the name pop in your head, did you see the update from this guy? Did you see the update from this guy? Did you see the update from he's looking crazy. He looks better. As much as we want to say they're not going to be biased at all, like when they're standing there, who's the first person they're going to look at? Yeah. They're going to say, "Oh wow, look Samson. Oh man, he's made a big difference these past few weeks. Wow." That's because they want to confirm the suspicion.
Yep.
So you got to be the talk of the town. You got to know people. You got to get yourself out there.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how Akeem does because he had, him and Justin both nice guys. We know them here. They didn't do so well at the Olympia and they've been around for a while. So to see them kind of making a little bit of like redeeming themselves a little bit, if you will, from the Olympia, it will be great to see them place well at the Arnold.
Yeah, they're definitely the two that I think could do the most damage that's not expected to do damage. Yeah, for sure.
We're leaving someone out here.
Hold on, let me look here. Oh, are we talking about Andrew?
No, all the way up top. Your boy.
Wow.
How could you forget about your boy?
All right. Well, let's think of it this way, though. You see what I talk about talk of the town.
I know.
Right? Yeah. No one's been talking about William Bonac, and you're just like, oh, William Bonac. Yeah. I mean, he's a once again, former Arnold champion.
Yeah.
I know
Second last
he
year.
had, correct, didn't he have an injury or something?
I think so.
Something recently. I can't remember
Yeah.
what it was. I don't remember. I don't know how he did at the Olympia.
How did he do at the Olympics? He didn't do so well.
You see, that's my point. So once again, it's this like, bodybuilding's tough because when you're on that upward trajectory, when you're winning, you know, everyone thinks about you, everyone knows about you. One bad placing.
Yeah.
I didn't even, I saw his name a million times. I didn't even think about it.
It's your boy. You're a big Bonac fan.
No, what are you talking about, my boy?
Yeah. You said before the Olympia you thought he was going to do really well.
Did I?
Yeah.
I got to rewatch that footage.
You were singing William Bonac's praises.
No, I thought I was singing some. Oh no! What are you talking about? No, you're mixing that with Chris Ruffin.
Terrence Ruffin.
Terrence Ruffin. Sorry,
Guys,
Chris.
I remember
wow,
my first
did you
day
see that?
watching a bodybuilding show.
Oh my god! I just mixed their two names together.
Chris Ruffin.
Chris Ruffin.
I want to see an artist do that.
Right?
Put
Oh my god, that would be
Terrence
so
Ruffin and
cool.
Chris Bumstead into one physique.
Just use those AI generators
Yeah.
now and just
Yep.
put them together.
Somebody,
No,
please
Terrence
do
Ruffin.
that.
That's who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
That was my boy.
Yeah.
And he did not do as well.
I know,
as
but
we'd hoped.
he didn't do well at all.
Yeah.
But
But William Bonac is great, and I probably did give him some praise. I will not deny that.
I think where we disagreed is I don't find his physique all that impressive.
William Bonac.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I've never been a fan.
I think what ruins his physique is his turtle shell midsection.
Yeah.
He's got crazy arms and shoulders, nice big kind of Phil Heath's big sweeping legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's just not pleasant to look at.
No, he's never been one of my favorites. I don't really like his posing. I've never been a fan. But
But you
never know,
can't count him out.
because he does come in great condition a lot of times.
He took second place last year at the Arnold.
second place last year, but then he did not so great at the Olympia. So I think he's also got something to prove here coming back to the Arnold, because historically he's done really well at the Arnold, right? He's won in the past.
This is a
Last year he
really
came
good
second.
lineup.
It is, yeah. I think, and we talked about this before the Olympia, like in 2022 and 2023, we were starting to see guys come out of the woodworks that maybe we hadn't seen before, and probably in a large part due to COVID and people not being able to compete, people not getting visas, whatever it was. So I think we've been able to see some really, really exciting competition in these big shows. So I think your guess is as good as mine for who's going to.
I really don't
in the
know.
top
I mean,
five.
all right. Well, number one, Sean, we're pulling for you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's a no-brainer for me.
He will truly again live up to his name and be the
No, 100%. Honestly, look, I know Sean. I know his mental state. He's going to win.
Yeah.
I think he can win. I know you think he can win. Everyone
Yeah.
here at Signature Fitness thinks he should win. Every bodybuilding fan, I think, knows he's a threat to win.
Yeah.
But I think even if he places, let's say, top 2, top 3,
Yeah, it's still
a
insane.
win. Because let's be real, at the Legion, right, he did beat open bodybuilders, but they weren't
Not to this caliber.
Not his caliber. You know, Regan Grimes still needs a few more years. Sergio Oliva Jr., he needs a few more years to really, tune everything up.
Yeah.
They're still great bodybuilders. But now he's facing against guys that are his caliber.
Yep.
He's got previous Mr. Olympia winners in there. He's got Nick, who won the Arnold. So if he could place in that top 3, I mean, we already know he is the giant killer.
Yeah. It's a statement.
But what a statement.
Yeah.
Now, I think he said, I don't know if you heard this, I believe he was doing an interview, and he said that if he wins this, he'll do the Open next year.
Yeah, he was on with Frank Seppi.
That's right.
Yeah, and Frank asked him. He said if he wins the Arnold, he will do Open at the 2023 Mr. Olympia.
That would be pretty crazy.
Which, when we were sitting there with him after he won the 2022 Mr. Olympia back in his hotel room, he did tell us that eventually that was his plan.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, it's not common knowledge, but it's eventually my plan to do that. But I want a few more 212 titles. And he hadn't yet confirmed he was doing the Arnold.
Sure.
But I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. If you can beat these guys on the second biggest stage in our sport, go for it.
Because I'm sure the way he looked at it is, let me rack up some more 212s.
Yeah.
And then, maybe my last couple shows, I do the Open. Like the Open Olympia.
Yeah.
Just to prove, just like the Lee Priest and the Danny Padillas and all those guys that, I'm a giant killer. I'm here forever.
Yeah. And look at how well Derek just did, right? He came in and took second. So I mean, and I think Sean's that much better of an athlete.
You know I don't like Derek.
I know you don't like Derek. I know. But I think Sean's that much better of an athlete. And so to
I
see
agree.
a 212 champ come in and play second at his first Open Olympia, I mean, I know you don't like Derek, but like his physique was just mind-blowing.
No, he did look great. He did look great.
So I think it's... he can look... We can
if you're watching...
Not like him. We're just Sean's besties. Come on.
Sorry.
But I'm so excited for our friend because I think he's going to do really great this week. And I think, he's just continues to get better and better and achieve more and more in this sport. So
I agree. And it is really exciting. I think, who knows, maybe we'll be celebrating an Arnold Classic victory
hell
here.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. More cookies.
So I think we got through. There's one person I want to touch on before we wrap this one up because we've gone pretty in depth with everybody. I don't think we have to go in depth with Kamal. I wish him the best. I think he's going to have a great showing. Like I said, I think he's on his way out.
Yeah.
Andrew Jacked.
Yeah.
Interesting about Andrew Jacked. I'm sure you probably know this, right? But for anyone's viewers at home, Andrew's had a very, very amazing year. He won his pro card at the Arnold Classic Amateur last year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he is the first person ever to be invited to the Arnold Classic Open the following year after he won his pro card at the Arnold Amateur.
Yeah.
So that's pretty,
it's remarkable.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And once again, he's working with, was it Chris Psycho Fitness or something, coach?
I don't remember.
I can't remember the guy's name. But supposedly, they are pushing him harder than he's ever been pushed before. Because if you do watch Andrew Jack's training, he works out hard, but he's more of a just stay focused in the zone and get through the sets type guy. He's not a grinder. He doesn't like to grind through training, which I understand. Yeah. I think it takes a certain type of person and years in the sport to get there.
Yeah.
But supposedly they're pushing him. And I said this about everybody, but Justin Rodriguez, wild card, right? Akeem Williams, dark horse, we don't know. Big Ramy, like you said, he's coming. But Andrew Jacked.
That's why I put him in potentially top 3.
I think I'm gonna follow you on that one.
Yeah.
I would still have Nick in second, but I think Samson and Andrew, in my opinion, fight for third.
Yeah.
Also because their physiques are a little more similar.
They are more
It's all once again, it's what are they rewarding?
Yeah.
If they're rewarding Nick's style, he'll go right up.
Yep.
But he, first of all, at the Olympia, I thought Andrew had the most beautiful posing routine.
He did.
He looked so nice. The music was great.
Yeah.
And don't forget, at the Arnold, they do give an award for the best poser.
They do. Yep.
So once again, that's going to help.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he could really stir the pot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think top 3 to 4.
For people who haven't seen him in person,
he's huge. Yeah.
He's I think he's 6'1"-ish.
Yeah.
But so I've met so many bodybuilders now, and having been with Sean and meeting a lot of people and going to all these expos.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of these guys and they're really big, but they're not big.
Yeah.
They're not like these. Because then you meet strongmen and these powerlifters that they're literally 6'5" and up, and you're like, oh my God, how do they make human beings like that?
Right, yeah.
He was such a great mixture of the two.
Yeah.
I remember we were in Vegas on that little once you went up the escalator on that landing.
Yeah.
And I see him from 50 feet away next to the big Olympia sign, and he's just wearing a sweatsuit, a crew neck sweatshirt and sweatpants. And I'm like, this dude looks like a track athlete who ate another track athlete.
Ate 4 more track athletes.
Right, but it was impressive. He had really long arms, long limbs, but everything was filled out.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of the X-Man, Tony Freeman. Do you remember Tony Freeman? Similar, but even bigger. And you watch. He's someone.
He's up and coming too.
Couple more years.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. We've got a lot of guys with a ton of potential here,
Yeah.
and then a lot of guys that have been it's their time.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. When are you flying out?
We fly out Thursday midday, so we'll be there, ready to walk in on Friday morning and cheer you on, Will. Stay tuned, guys.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's another episode of the SignatureCAST where we talk bodybuilding, business, and everything in between. Don't forget to give IFBB Pro Jess Falborn a follow on Instagram. Guys, we're going to see you there at the Arnold Classic 2023.
Yep. Follow along.
Peace.
All right. Bye.